What up, everyone? This is Maze with another first-person cast today. Now, this is a matchup I just played, and it's a PvZ against Hubris, and I am here in the bottom left-hand corner playing as Protoss once more. And for those of you who are having trouble with a PvZ matchup, here is a game just for you guys. I think this pretty much shows you a lot of effective strategies that I've been using against Zerg lately, and I personally actually had a lot of trouble with Zerg, and then I started switching some things around, and what I'm doing is a really good base for all types of Zerg strategies you will encounter. So as we go through the game, I'll kind of explain to you why the decisions I'm making, what I'm doing, and the precautions that I'm making to ensure that I'm always going to be staying ahead in the game. And again, always sending my probe out at 9 supply, and for Zerg it's especially important to see what they're going, because what you want to do as Protoss, and pretty much as any race, is you want to keep Zerg on one base for as long as you can. Protoss can work very effectively off of one base, but Zerg have a much harder time. So if you can stay on one base and fight him with one base, you will be able to, or you will most likely be able to outmatch him, out-tech him, and be able to get units like Templar or Colossus or whatever you need to fend off the Zerg player. It's really important to try to keep them on one base as much as you can. So when I'm scouting here, I realize this guy doesn't have a pool, or he's just making it right now. Actually, he's going a double hatch right here. So he is going for some kind of probably massive Ling build. That's what I was thinking at the time. And so I keep my probe here, and he does his little dance moves here so that he can deny the expansion. He keeps his Overlord out here to see what he does. Sometimes I will even put a pylon down here, but what I am doing right now, actually I don't really feel like I need one, is that I'm going double gate. Now usually Zerg, a really good Zerg player, will scout you with the drone as well, so they'll know what you're going. Now this guy was pretty good. I think he has like 550 points or something in the diamond bracket, so I mean, that's pretty solid. I mean, he's not like an amazing player or anything, but I mean, he was pretty good. So anyone who's having trouble, I really think this is pretty exemplary of what you might find a Zerg player doing. So this guy actually is going a double hatch right here, so this is going to be an example of a fast push. And the reason I go double gate is because when Zerg do scout your base, they will be less inclined to go for an expansion out here if they see you have a double gate, because they'll be worried about getting overpowered. So it's kind of like a psychological technique. It's like, well, don't even think about expanding because I'm going to go double zealots and overrun you. But really what I try to do is I just make it look like I'm going to be going mass zealots, and instead I just send a couple. Like I send one here. You can almost always get 2 or 3 drones if you send an initial zealot out here, especially if you see a pool like this. Usually Zerg build their pool at around 15 or 16. So it's just great to send out a zealot because you know you will get at least a couple of drones. And it's definitely worth to lose a zealot if you can kill at least 2 drones, because not only are you equalizing on income lost, or units lost, but you are also denying them more income. So kind of a nice little kick in the face there. And so I'm still pumping out some zealots. I am trying to keep my position here so I can kind of gauge to see what he is going right now. He's still just kind of pumping out Zerglings. He's not really going for a massive Zerg push just yet. I think that's what he is trying to do, but I have enough zealots here to keep beating away at his zealots. And in the meantime, I'm talking about how this is sort of a trick. Like, yeah, I do kind of go heavy zealots, but I make sure that I am in my base and I'm teching, because what is so important against a Zerg is that you have a sentry to defend and maneuver around the Zerg as much as you can. So yeah, this guy tried to take me out with Zerglings, but 3 zealots is really a lot for Zerglings to deal with. He really should have had some more before he tried to go in and get me. So right now I am denying him pretty good map control. I have, you know, over here is my territory, over here is my territory, and at this point I'm just kind of waiting for him to overpower me, because I'm not going to keep sending more zealots. But I do have this sentry here, and I'm going to explain to you the wonders of sentries as the game goes on, because they really are so awesome against Zerg. You really need sentries to battle against Zerg. If you're having trouble getting overrun, or you're just like, I don't know what to do against Zerg mass, sentries are great to split up armies and work up on ramps. So I'm going in here, I have my warp gate set up, that's also very important, and I'm actually going for a 3-gate Robo build here, so I'm going to be eventually gearing towards Colossi. And so here I am going with my 4 Zealots and a Sentry, and I'm going to peek my head in his base to see what exactly this guy's doing, because I don't really have a good idea. So it looks like he's actually going to be going a Roach Warren and Hydra Den right off the bat. So he's going to be going Roach Hydra, not really committing to the Sling build, which is probably good. Because he assumed that I was going Zealots. So the reason I have the Sentry out here is not to overpower him or anything, but if he does, I didn't really know he was going Roach Hydra, so if he does have massive amount of lings and I see him going down this hill, one Sentry Field blocks it off, or if I feel like it's an army that I can split, say he's got like 12 lings or like 20 lings or something, I'll split half the army, take it out here, then run back to my base and wait to recoup. And that's just kind of why sentries are nice. I know that I'm really not going to be in a position where I'm going to lose much. And I have this proxy pylon out here because in case he does manage to push out really far and my sentry isn't near the hill, I will have some support here. So it's pretty much like I'm fighting at my base with this proxy pylon. So that's what's really nice about that. So never am I really that worried in this situation about losing my army or getting overwhelmed because of that sentry. So he's going a Roach Hydra build right now, and I have tons of Zealots because I just assumed he was going Zerglings. At this point, I really didn't know that he had Roach Warren or a Hydra Den, so I'm trying to gain some information here, see what he's going, and trying to bait myself, trying to maybe even get an Overlord. He's got 2 Queens right now, so I have to move back right now. Lings are poking away at my Stalker, and there goes a field to try to split up the troops, maybe even catch a couple Lings who are running back, but really wasn't able to get that, but I did see that he was going Roaches and Hydras, so I start warping in some more Stalkers because I need that extra range to deal with Roaches and Hydras. Zealots really aren't good against either of those units, so I need Stalkers for that. So here I am chrono boosting out my tech extended thermal lance. You should probably get that around the same time that you start making your first Colossi. And here comes a battle right now. I have tons of Zealots, but like I said, it's really not that good against this force, so I'm kind of losing too many units, and I'm forced to back off right here, and he's got the creep, so he's going really fast, and there is the force field. Not exactly well placed, but he wouldn't be able to get his entire army out there. I was a little bit hesitant there, but that just kind of shows you the force field. It's really nice. You can really control your opponent that way, and you're never truly in harm's way if you're trying to retreat or if you're trying to split an army. So I see that he is going here right now, and at this point I'm like, well, he feels like he can take me, and I really don't know why. I love when Zerg come and try to fight at my base, because all I gotta do is wait for some resources and start pumping in another sentry. So I just gotta wait for him to come up the ramp and split up his army, and I'll take out half of his force without losing much of mine. So he actually was a little bit careless. 2 Roaches coming in here right now, and I'm gonna be able to get 2 free Roaches, so that's really nice about the force field right there. So this guy is a little bit undermanned. He's got the rest of his force right here, and at this point I realize that of course he's gonna go for my destructible rocks. He feels like he can take me. He doesn't see my Colossus tech either. So what I do is I wait for 3 sentries, another one is going in, and I let him destroy my rocks, because what I want him to do is engage in my base so that I can split up these forces and get some free units. So here we go. Fields are going down. I'm able to split up 3 Hydras there, so here is an army. He is undermanned 4 Hydras actually, so I'm going to be able to take out this amount here. He is able to pick off a couple of my sentries, but not really that big of a loss. I'm able to get all of his Roaches, and now he is on the run. My Stalkers are much faster than these Hydralisks, so I'm actually going to be able to pick off a couple of Hydras here, which is really nice. So on that exchange, I definitely was up. Units lost. I am really in a good position right now, and he's even bringing in his Roaches. I'm able to pick off a couple of more units, and the reason that I like to go a Robo against Zerg is because good Zerg will creep tumor everywhere. They'll try to